All right, let's just jump right in. We live in a world that, let's be honest, rewards the loudest person in the room. The one with the most followers, the one who's always talking, always seen. But what if the real power, the actual strategic advantage, belongs to the people you don't even notice? Today, we're going to dig into why for certain people, choosing to be invisible isn't a weakness at all. It's a superpower.
Just let that sink in for a second. This one idea completely flips how we think about influence. It basically tells us that real, genuine power doesn't need a spotlight. In fact, it actually thrives in the quiet, fueled by a confidence that just doesn't need a round of applause to know its own worth.
Look, if you've ever had that urge to just delete your social media, or you find yourself staying quiet in big meetings, or you just prefer to work away in the background, chances are you've asked yourself this, right? It's that nagging feeling. Maybe I'm avoiding things. Maybe I should be more out there.
But what if we reframe that? What if that pull to withdraw isn't about fear at all? What if it's a strategic choice to protect the most valuable thing you have, your focus, your energy, your own mind? And that's the core idea we're going to unpack right now.
Okay, so let's start with this whole concept of invisibility as a deliberate choice. In a world where every single thought is broadcast for everyone to see, choosing privacy is a pretty radical move.
And this is where you get a huge strategic advantage: mystery. Think about it. When you aren't constantly posting your every move, people can't really get a read on you. They can't predict you, and they definitely have a harder time manipulating you. This quiet unpredictability, it becomes like a form of armor, an influence that being loud could just never buy you.
But, this isn't just about how you play the social game. It's about something way deeper. It's about profound mental efficiency. So here's the deal. We all have a finite amount of mental energy every single day, right? Think of it like a battery. For a highly intelligent or deeply focused mind, the constant performance of being seen, the small talk, keeping up with social media, navigating group politics, that stuff is incredibly expensive. It drains the very battery you need for the work that actually matters.
And that's the trade-off right there. It's not that these people are antisocial or that they dislike people. It's a very conscious decision to reallocate that limited energy. So instead of spending it on social noise that just fades away, they invest it in things that grow, things that compound over time, like skills, deep knowledge, and meaningful work.
And this leads to this huge psychological shift in where they get their sense of self-worth. When you're busy compounding your own skills and knowledge, the applause from the outside world just starts to sound like, noise.
Just look at this breakdown. On one side, you've got this fleeting, totally unreliable world of likes, comments, and social approval. But on the other side, you have the stable, compounding satisfaction that comes from living by your own principles and achieving deep mastery of something. Once you reach a certain level of emotional maturity, the choice is kind of obvious. The internal scorecard becomes the only one that really matters. And there's another layer to this. People who operate this way tend to be incredibly observant. They spot the fake behavior, the performative stuff, from a mile away. So naturally, they become really selective. They go for quality over quantity every time, preferring a few deep, real connections over a massive network of superficial ones.
Now, it's so easy for people to mistake this silence for emptiness, right? Like nothing is going on. But that is a massive miscalculation. Their quiet isn't empty. It's full.
Psychology actually has a name for this. It's called the incubation effect. This is the magic that happens when you step away from a problem. Your subconscious mind keeps turning it over, connecting the dots in the background. That aha moment, the brilliant idea, almost never happens in a noisy conference room. It happens in the quiet, after you've disconnected. These folks, they intuitively get this, and they build that quiet time right into their lives.
This reframe is everything. Their solitude isn't about retreating from the world. It's the workshop where they are building the ideas, the art, the strategies that will eventually shape the world. They're not just consumers of what's around them, they are creators.
This self-reliance also comes from a really healthy skepticism. When you quietly observe how things work, you start to see just how often external systems, whether they're corporate, social, whatever, are unreliable or even illogical. So you learn to trust your own internal compass more than anything else. Why would you seek validation from a system you don't fully respect? Your focus and trust just naturally turn inward.
So let's tie all of this together.
If any of this is ringing true for you, it's time to stop seeing your quiet nature as some kind of flaw and start seeing it for what it actually is.
That preference for quiet, that's a sign of high mental efficiency. That you don't need constant applause, that points to an internally validated identity. Your reserved nature, it comes from deep observational skills. Your solitude is just priming your mind for those breakthrough ideas. And your privacy, that gives you the strategic power of mystery. These aren't weaknesses, they are serious assets.
And this is the most important thing to get. This isn't just some feel-good motivational talk. This is a real framework for understanding how a highly efficient and self-aware mind actually operates in a world that's just full of noise. And once you see that your own tendencies are a strategic pattern, not a personal failing, you can stop fighting against yourself and finally start using your greatest, quietest strength.